Hi, good day. Welcome back in the studio. I have Prathisha with me here today, and we're going to have a wonderful conversation around what's the psychology of business and how to apply our minds and our mindset in a different way and how to create different results by doing it that way. Welcome in the studio with me today.
Hi, Anneme. Thank you for having me. Such an interesting topic and most applicable.
I think it's relevant, right? I think in the past couple of years, we've gone through a transformation, whether we wanted to or not.
No, it was like slap bang on us, right?
I think collectively we've all asked for change, but when it happens, we're like, wait, hang on, put on the brakes. Right, so I want to talk about anxiety, right, and business owners, and you're a business owner yourself, yes. Right? So I'm sure you can relate a little bit. I'm a business owner, I can certainly relate, but I want to talk about what does that actually mean to us as individuals in the business, and where it comes from. So can you share with me how you've experienced post-COVID anxiety?
Well, COVID actually took away everything that we took for granted. Everything was taken away from us all around, you know, and including our freedom and how our businesses normally ran. We had to be flexible and we had to adapt, and it brings a lot of overwhelm.
Correct.
A lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, fear of the future. I mean, businesses that were stable now had to like completely transform to make it happen. So yeah, it's a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress.
I think you used a very key word there today that I want to talk about, and that's called stable. Did you know that our core human needs is love and connection, certainty, variety, and significance? Now, it's an interesting thing as human beings. So COVID gave us what? Love and connection. It also took away love and connection for people who stayed on their own.
Oh, yes.
Right, so core human need was disconnected there. Our significance, if your identity was attached to your business or some element of your life that you can't express now because we're in lockdown, then our significance filter was affected as well.
So whether you're a business owner or a career man or woman, actually.
100%, yeah.
All of a sudden you weren't going to the office anymore.
Those normal conversations, I mean, I know of clients of mine that actually went to the shop every day to buy bread and milk, and they live alone, so I don't know how much bread they ate every day. And they did that really so that they could speak to another human being every day, that they could connect to someone. And the certainty filter is definitely what has caused the anxiety, because we used to look at our businesses and we say, I can bank on this, right? This is my structure. If I'm in the entertainment industry, or let's say the holiday industry or hotel, or you know, that's seasonal, I do well, but in between I need to market for that and cater for that. So you can plan around that because you know what the pattern is.
Yes.
And whoops, disappeared the pattern, right? So now it's all of a sudden a lot of anxiety, a lot of overwhelm, because we don't know what the next step is. That unfamiliar, the fear of the unknown, as a lot of people refer to it.
Everything became unpredictable, right?
Correct.
You can't really predict what are your trends now.
Correct. So I like to refer to my brother, my accountant, to say, you know, you could look at my financials and go, this month is good for you, we need to plan around this one, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden that meant nothing. With it also the great opportunity to innovate, the great opportunity to get out of our comfort zone and do the stuff that we threatened to do and didn't do because we were too comfortable, right? So how can we actually create some certainty back into our lives? What are we in control over? And I remember having a conversation with one of the local radio stations, and I was at home, obviously. And I live in an area where there's a green belt, so signal is not that great.
Okay.
And the data would just drop every now and again, and I would I'm live on air, and he would come back and go, okay, you're back again, and we would laugh about that, and I would go, how forgiving we became because we had to rely on structures that we didn't have before, right? So
definitely.
So the anxiety really is as a result of our certainty not being there. So we need to look at how can we create more certainty? What is a sustainable new way of doing business that can replace that old way and give us the same level of certainty that we require for us as human beings to feel grounded, to feel centered, to say, okay, I've got a little bit of control here. I feel like I know where the ship is going and I can steer it.
That was the main thing that was taken away, was our control.
Yeah.
You know, we were not in control of anything. We were given rules and regulations, and you know, everything was out of our control.
Yeah. Or it certainly
And I
felt
don't know
that
about
way.
you, I might be a control freak, but that's scary. For me, that's scary. I like to know what's happening this month and next month, at least on a broader scale, a big picture scale, you know.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
for me, that terrifies me, not knowing.
And I think you're not the only one. I think there's an element of that for every one of us because it's a core human need. At some level, we want to feel certain. The interesting, funny part about us human beings, the more certainty we have, the more we become stable. Once that box is ticked, we crave variety. We go,
Makes
oh, I
sense.
want to do it differently. What about, and then we get a little bit experimental on what we can change. But as long as the grounding is solid, then I can play around in this not so secure space because I feel stable. And it's because that carpet was lifted underneath, our balance was taken out of our equation, out of our hands, out of our control, as you say. And it literally is, okay, goodness, what do I do now? The one thing we definitely do still have control over is our thoughts and how to manage them. Because the feeling that's being produced is as a result of a thought. And if we take enough time to sit and just reflect and go, okay, all right, now I'm aware of this feeling. What is causing me to feel like this? What are the thoughts going through my mind that is creating this feeling in my body? And how can I flip that script? How can I switch that focus? What can I focus on differently? Although it might be a very different business strategy to what I had in mind, prior to the please sit down and stay at home for 3 weeks, and most people thought, oh, 3-week holiday, I'm in. And then it became a little bit of a longer holiday. We had to go, okay, hang on, wait.
I didn't plan for this holiday.
Yeah, and this is not the type of holiday I planned for. If I want to go on a 3-month holiday, I want to go somewhere else. I don't want to sit at home necessarily for 3 months. You know, I want to experiment a little bit more and have that variety that we crave as well. So it is looking at doing business differently. It is looking at how can we innovate our businesses in a way that creates a sustainable, certain future.
That sounds amazing.
It
Please
does.
do tell.
And that's what the series is about. I want to unpack different little tips and techniques and tricks that you can consider. It's not necessarily going to work for every industry. I'll keep it as general as possible so that everybody can make it their own depending on what their business industry and what their focus is. But that how can we create those little stepping stones into the future that creates more certainty for us. Yeah? So the series is
like we spoke about sustainability in
about
business.
that,
A
yeah.
lot of people will give up, and you give up because you get scared and you get anxious. You know, we spoke about this, and that's what you plan on telling us more about. You know, how do
Absolutely.
we stay the course?
absolutely,
Because it
absolutely.
does. Business owners when I got into business, it was a huge emotional thing. It
Yes.
is. A lot of staying the course has a lot to do with, can I manage my anxiety? Can I manage my overwhelm and the fear and stuff?
100%.
So I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to having more of these conversations with you. And in the next session, we'll unpack something you've actually already touched on. And that's the reason why we started our businesses in the first place. I'm going to leave a clue word, and it's called passion, but it shows up differently for everybody else. And there's something behind it that is valuable, very simple, and valuable in terms of helping you create the sustainability for your business going forward.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being in the studio with us today, and I look forward to sharing some of those tips and tricks with you as we go forward in the series. Bye-bye now.